Some of our best RVing memories were made in national parks. As interest continues to grow, that means more visitors. Last year, there were almost 300 million visitors to our national park. As great as that is, educating folks on protecting and preserving these parks is more important than ever. Today, we're going to take a look at the 7 principles established by the Leave No Trace Center for Outdoor Ethics. Let's go. The first major principle is plan ahead and prepare. Falling under this principle, we want to be aware of any regulations or special concerns for the area we plan to visit. We want to prepare for extreme weather, hazards, and plan for emergencies. Next, we want to, if at all possible, schedule our visit to avoid the high use times. Next, we want to visit in small groups or even break up larger groups into smaller groups if at all possible. Next, repackaging food to minimize waste. Next is to use a map, a compass, or GPS to mark our waypoints versus marking trees. The next principle is travel and camp on durable surfaces. Durable surfaces can include maintained campsites, trails, rocks, gravel, sand, dry grasses, and snow. Protect certain areas by camping at least 200 feet from a stream or a lake. Good campsites are found, they are not made. No alteration is needed. Now the next few on the list are going to apply especially in very popular areas. First is concentrate use on existing trails and campsites. Walking in a single file line right down the middle of a trail to prevent touching nature on either side. And keep your campsite small, avoiding vegetation. Now in pristine areas, we want to disperse the use to prevent the creation of a trail or a campsite. And be sure to avoid areas where visual impacts are already being observed. Let them regrow. The next principle is disposing of your waste properly, which means if you pack it in, pack it out. Clean up any food, bag it, take it right back out with you. Next is using toilet facilities when they exist. If they don't, you can dig a cat hole that's 6 to 8 inches deep and at least 200 feet away from a water source. And as in the first bullet point, be sure to pack out all of the materials. If you do need to wash yourself or dishes or a pet, be sure to carry the water at least 200 feet away from the water source and use a tiny amount of biodegradable soap. The next principle is leave what you find. So on this list, we want to preserve the past, which means examine visually, right? Photograph, but don't touch any historical, cultural structures or artifacts. Let's leave them alone. Look, don't touch. Then we want to leave rocks, plants, and everything just as they are found naturally. We want to avoid introducing invasive species into the area and not build structures, furniture, or dig holes. The next principle is minimizing campfire impacts. Campfires can cause a long-lasting impact on the environment. Use a lightweight stove for cooking when possible and enjoy candle lanterns for light. Where fires are permitted, be sure to use an established fire ring or fire pit. We want to keep fires small. Use only down and dead wood found in the surrounding area that can be broken by hand. And of course, we want to burn the wood and coals completely to ash. Once that has dried and cooled off, we want to scatter it throughout. The next principle is respecting wildlife. We want to observe from a distance, do not approach or follow them. We never want to feed wild animals. This can damage their health and change their behavior patterns. We want to protect wildlife and our food by storing it safely and removing the trash into a secure bin. We want to protect wildlife and your food by storing rations and your trash securely. And of course, we want our pets to have fun, but be sure to control them at all times or leave them at home. And let's avoid wildlife altogether during sensitive times. This can be mating, nesting, raising young, or during the winter. And the last principle is being considerate of other visitors. And through this, we are protecting the experience of everyone. Be courteous, yield to others while you're on a trail. Step to the downhill side of the trail when encountering pack stock. Let's take breaks and camp away from trails and other visitors to give everyone their space. And let's let the sounds of nature prevail by avoiding loud voices and loud noises. All right, to summarize, leave it better than you found it, just like your mama taught you. Let us know in the comments which national park is your favorite. My most recent is Canyonlands National Park out in Utah. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for upcoming content, and we will see you next time.